Good evening, good evening, good evening. This is Relock Podcast. Thank you all for joining today. Um, Guys, our topic will be why is settling for a toxic relationship so accepted? Guys, we are on YouTube, so go follow our YouTube page, Relock Podcast. Um, we come on Facebook Live and YouTube every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So log in, make sure to share with your family, your friends, inbox us any topics you guys want to talk about. And just tune in and make sure you share our page. Good evening, Erica and Aaron. How are you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Aaron, how was your week? Your
I'm all right.
weekend?
It was all right.
That's OG Aaron Brown. Erica, how was your
AB is
weekend?
what they call me.
It was good. I had a good weekend.
That's good. That's good. So, uh, you guys, next week, Tuesday, 4th of July, we will not be having the podcast. We will be out, hopefully celebrating somewhere, bringing in the 4th of July. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing. I may go to Houston for the weekend, me and my husband. So just hang out up there. Aaron, what will you be doing next week?
I don't know.
He's
Oh, yes.
such a bust.
Popping
Anyway.
firecrackers, barbecuing some bologna, doing
Yeah, we know because that's all
lines
you
on
can
it.
afford.
Barbecuing bologna with the lines on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Erica, what about you?
For the 4th, I don't have plans for the 4th, but the following week I will be out of town for the whole week.
Work release program.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically.
He's so good.
I gotta get my hours in. So
Gotta get your hours in.
I gotta get the hours in.
So yeah, I hope y'all have a good 4th of July next weekend. We won't be here, but make sure you guys just stay tuned on Facebook for our upcoming show after that. So we're gonna go ahead and get into today's topic.
Mm.
Why is settling for a toxic relationship so accepted?
I see somebody.
I mean, I don't really know.
Well,
I guess
let's define
my theory. What were you about to say, Aaron? Before you
define
interrupt?
toxic. Yeah, let's start there.
Um, I guess that can go. I mean, maybe being in an abusive relationship, maybe being in a relationship where you're not, where you're feeling some type of way, maybe scared, maybe like as if something isn't right. Um, or you are seeing things or things are happening that you are overlooking. I don't know. What's your definition of toxic?
My definition of toxic is when it's no longer, I guess the fun, the enjoyment is gone. And I guess you have to defend any and everything where it's arguing and fussing and fighting. Um, it's just not a pleasant relationship to be in. Neither one of you are happy, and it's just ongoing situation after situation, and it's just like your relationship is suffocating, and
Okay.
and it's no longer healthy for both parties.
So like unpleasant, like
Yeah.
something that's unpleasant for the both. Erica, what about you? What do you define as toxic?
I was gonna say the same thing. Something that's just definitely unhealthy for both of you. It's constant arguing back and forth. I mean, it's just toxic. No longer healthy.
Mhm.
Where you're stressed out, you can't sleep.
Mm,
It's affecting you mentally, physically.
yeah.
I've been there. I've been in toxic relationships, maybe more than one. Um, one of them I just excused myself, but my anxiety got so bad that I couldn't sleep.
Really?
And I remember this so vividly that I know I have to be at work at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'll probably fall asleep for the first hour of the night.
Mm.
But the rest of the night, I was counting the popcorn on the ceiling. I just couldn't sleep, and it got so bad that when I went to the doctor, they put me on some anxiety medicine, which
Mhm.
turned me into a zombie. I mean, I literally had no emotion.
Mm.
But being on that medicine, I was able to sleep.
Mm.
But my social, um, my interaction with people was gone. And the relationship was so toxic that um, I eventually had to tell myself, I got to get out of this.
Right.
And the thing about it is, a lot of times people are in these toxic relationships and they don't really tell anybody what's going on. And they're kind of screaming out for help. And to go back to what you were saying about toxic relationships can be also if you're in a relationship with someone who's controlling. They don't want you to be around your friends. They don't want you to be around your family. You know, they control every aspect of the life that you got going on. And I think people don't want to leave because they get too comfortable. They're afraid to get out of it to see what else is going on. And therefore you trap yourself. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna blame the other person. I'm gonna say I'm gonna take full accountability for my action because
Mhm.
nobody held me at gunpoint to stay in the toxic relationship that I was in. So I just had to find the courage and muster up enough energy and to leave, and I did. So, um, yes, it's not a pleasant thing to be in. No, not at all.
How long were you in there?
That relationship, it got where it became toxic. I think 2 to 3 years. The last 2 or 3 years I was in it became toxic.
Mm.
I moved in, and it got worse.
Mm.
And yeah, I had to get out of it.
Yeah.
So I'm in a better place now, and it feels good. But it also feels good to share my story, especially with young adults coming up, teenagers, and uh, young adults who are in these. You've seen these relationships out and about. You could be at Baby A's or somewhere minding your own business, and you see these young adults arguing, fussing, and fighting. And then if they were where we are in life, to know that life is too short to waste your time on anybody or any individual that is toxic or who brings you stress. You know, stress is real. Stress will kill you. And so
Mhm.
when I went to the doctor, and then also I had to get counseling. So I went to counseling. I'm not ashamed to admit it, but they tell you that stress will kill you.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and these toxic relationships can take a toll on you if you allow it.
Mm.
So um, I recovered. I'm a better person from it. Um, would I change something about it? A little bit, but the experience that I could share with others, at my expense, I think it was worth it for me to go through it because I can share it with my little cousin, with my son, and any up and coming young adults and people in relationships that, you know, I think one of the number one things in a toxic relationship is if you with someone who's controlling.
Mm.
That's where I think it really starts. You know, somebody trying to control every aspect of your life at that moment in time.
Right, right,
Mhm.
right. So that's interesting, and I'm glad that you, as a man, would be bold enough to come on and say that because we can only speak from a woman's point of view, what we have seen, what we have experienced in our own lives about being in toxic relationships. Um, I heard you say earlier about the kids, young adults. And to me, I guess I expect the younger adults to go through. It's the older people that kill me, that stay in these relationships. Like they give these guys so many chances when they see the shit like up front. He beat and did two things they don't like. And me, you only get like a few. Like you don't get to do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like I'm too old to give you that many chances. I see the older, and I'll speak for women, not all women, but I'm just saying just women in general. Some of the things I've done and I've experienced, and then some of the things I've seen women experience is that they they give these guys too many chances and they stay in these unsuitable relationships that they will stay silent about. And they will proclaim that they are okay, but mentally inside they are really like not cool with it. And then you'll end up seeing it in the end, like, oh, and then they'll tell you the whole story about why they not with him no more. And it's like, why are we still 40 plus putting up with shit that we was putting up with when we was 20? Like, why are you so at this age? You have been through everything. You have conquered everything. You have gotten over dudes and did you wrong. You didn't did whatever. You have gotten over it. Why would you come back in your 40s and do that? You already know. When you see what you see, just take that shit for what you see it for and keep it pushing. You're not losing out on anything that you never had. How can you miss something that you never had? And then these women, they spend such a big majority of time they try to build a bear these niggas. Oh, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but they try to build a bear these dudes and to whom they want them to be. And they spend 98% of the time trying to get him to be who they want them to be. The dude never gets with them. He never marries them. And then they break up with him and he go with somebody for 3 months and then he go give them everything that you wanted. And to me, I used to blame the men. I used to be like, oh, they wrong. But then I had to start taking a step back and say, we are some grown women. Mm-hmm. We have been in we have been in at least 2 or 3 relationships throughout our life.
Right.
What is it about you? Because then now you need to turn the mirror around. Because we can't keep blaming these men. Now you got to turn that mirror around and face yourself and say, what is it inside of you that is so low to where you will allow a man to treat you a certain type of way or to not give you the things that you want? Is it something about you? So now you have to start digging deep inside of you to figure out where is my self-esteem messed up at? Because now I need to go work on that. And I think that, like the kids, I expect the kids to do it. They still learning. They don't really understand themselves at this point. They just trying to get into their group. But the old schools, I don't see it. Like at our age, when somebody ain't acting right, we should be comfortable sleeping in our bed by ourselves. We should not be in a bed with somebody that we are not getting along with or having a hard time with. Or we should not be in a relationship with somebody that we are fighting with or trying to get them to do what we want them to do to make us happy. Like, I think we should just be so past it because we've experienced. It's like, how many times do you gotta touch the fire before you get like set your whole body on fire? Like, I just don't get the concept of why people stay. Like, and I'm not saying for 1 minute that I have not given somebody a chance or given somebody benefit of the doubt. But I have learned over the years that you can be the best. And I think this is another part that comes in with that too, is that you as a woman can think that you are the best for a man. You could just put out all your credentials that you got at your job, all these good things that you've done for yourself, and that may not be what a man looking for. And a lot of times, men don't really tell us what they don't like about us. They'll just go with the flow. They'll just drag us along for the rest of our life, and we'll be sitting over here figuring out why he ain't with us, why we can't get him to do this. And he not really telling you like you really not his type. He really don't like you like that, because they don't want to hurt our feelings. But at some point, the woman has to step back and say, okay, this ain't going nowhere. Like, okay, I'm gonna need to go on and drop him off, because I can't keep going year after year after year after year trying to figure out why we can't align with each other. And today I was talking with one of my girlfriends, and she said, God is a jealous God, right? And I was like, okay, yeah. And she said, do you know how we put these men up on a pedestal? We spend our every beck and day talking to them on the phone, buying them gifts, making sure they good. We don't pick up that Bible not one time during the week and read it. We don't go to nobody Bible study on Wednesday. We're idolizing these men. We are putting these men before God. So you think that relationship gonna work? It's not. You can't put man before God. So while we over here we over here doing everything we can do. We day and night on the phone with our friends, trying to how we be a better woman. What did he say he liked? Oh, he liked them shoes. Let me get him them shoes. Let me get him that polo shirt. And we spend our entire time idolizing him, trying to make him be somebody that he really don't want to be to us. And we putting God second. So why do we think God gonna bless that relationship? We're not even giving him that type of time that we giving a man.
Absolutely.
And I never thought of it like that. I was like, that's interesting. I never looked at it like that. But we do. We put these men up on a pedestal, and and that's what we do. Our whole day is consumed with them. We wake up in the morning, we talk to them. We talk to them for lunch. We talk to them midday. We talk to them before we go to bed. We don't even pick up our Bible that many times in a day. We don't even read. We ain't even stepping foot in church, but we'll jump on these plane, trains, and automobiles to go see them men. And our church is around the corner.
Oops.
So are we really our own problem in these toxic relationships? Are we bringing toxicity to us? Or is it these men fault? Or even vice versa? Is it these men fault for letting women do them like that? So when my friend said that today, I was thinking, I said, you know what? I never thought of it like that. You know what I'm saying? And we wonder why these relationships are not. And then we start thinking that we the problem. We're not good enough. All we holding, we gotta heal. We've been going with somebody, he did us wrong back in the day. We need to heal. Maybe we being too mean to the person because, from our past relationship, and we really just not understanding that no blessings are gonna come out of that. First of all, if the man really don't want you. A man will drag you along as long as you convenient for him. And then on the flip side of that, as long as you're going to be the fool to sit around and spend your whole life trying to get this man to see that you worth it. I mean, like, to me, these women put in too much effort for these guys. And then in the end, they never get what they want. I see it all the time. I be like, golly, man, you done cooked this dude dinner. You done bought him gifts. You gave this nigga oil change.
What's wrong with the oil change?
You know what I'm saying? You done got his car washed.
That's good.
They come clean up his
But
house.
what's toxic about all that? What's toxic about that? Because I don't want to be with her?
Well, I think the toxic part comes in because then when a woman starts feeling like that, then that's when the arguing comes. Now it's a struggle because she feel like you're not understanding what she's trying to do. But in actuality, you really don't want her. And instead of these men being upfront,
I'm upfront.
and I'm gonna throw this out there. I'm married, y'all. So when I talk about things, I'm talking about my past life. I'm not talking about today in this time while I'm married to somebody. But I remember back in the day when I used to date this guy, he said one thing to me. He said, he tells everybody the truth. And at the time, he was talking to like 4 of us. And everybody knew about each other, but everybody liked him, so they wanted to go with him. You know, at the time, I think I was like 17 or 18. And he said, I like her, I like you, I like her, and I like her. And everybody knew about each other. And it was weird now that I think about it. It was like, but he was upfront. At that point, he allowed us to say, oh, I ain't gonna be talking to you. You're talking to 3 other people. Like, no. But everybody liked him so much, they just wanted to be the one. You know what I'm saying? And he ended up not going with any one of us in the end. But it was like, that's crazy.
But he was honest.
But he was honest. Like, it's like, damn, you got to give him. I mean, you got to give him one for the team. He was honest. We were stupid.
I'm honest.
Were stupid.
I'm honest. I tell people up front, I put the ball in their court. And if they want to deal with it or not. Now, there's different levels. Oh, boy was on pimp level. Because, see, there's a difference from a player and a pimp. A player got several women, and none of them know about each other. A pimp got all the different women. They all know about each other.
Well, I'm not going to say that we know about each other in the sense of like a poly. Like,
no, I know that
over there. We knew about each other. Like, okay, yeah, I heard he talked to her. Okay. And he said, like, he wasn't, honestly, he really wasn't going with neither
nobody. One. Yeah, he wasn't going with nobody.
He really had the right to talk to who he wanted to, which is what women should do today. You should not commit yourself to one man if you guys are not in the lane of marriage or y'all are committed. And no, he is your friend. He is your friend. You ain't got to be bedding both of the people or all 3 of the people. Whoever you are on dates. This is a courtship until you figure out who fits in your lifestyle. Not you going over and fitting in the man lifestyle. Them lifestyles need to be able to come together and match like a puzzle. But that is not the way that it's going. These women are meeting these men. They talk to just this one person. And the reason why the arguing and fighting comes about is because they have let go of everybody else and focused on one person, thinking that it's going somewhere. And these men are not telling the truth. These men are lying, or either these women are lying to themselves, one or the other.
Right.
I've seen it where men have told a woman that they're dealing with that I don't want anything. And I've seen women and men too feel like they can change that person's mind.
Oh,
I think sometimes men or women bring that toxic behavior to the relationship or whatever situationship that you have going on, especially after the individual has told you that, you know, they just want to be friends. They just want to hang out and do whatever. And then I think you should be responsible for your own behavior, because I have male friends out there that will tell you that they have told these women straight up that this is all they're looking for. And I've seen it. I've had female friends who've dealt with certain individuals, and I tell my female friends, hey, I'm telling you now, he's not relationship type of material. Oh, okay, but I think I can change him. And I think that's toxic behavior when you're going into thinking you can change somebody.
And so that's what they say, though. They say, I can change him. Or is it the man giving them, I'm just saying, giving them all these things and making them think that they the one? Because, I mean, I just don't females saying, oh, I can change him.
I've heard and I've seen women say that they can change him. Even though, and it can be a combination of both. You know, you can get in there and start pillow talking, telling the woman.
I'm gonna tell you, a lot of times it be the men. I'm just saying, making you feel like, and I'm not saying this right, but making you feel like, oh yeah, you the one. It's just me and you.
Yeah, girl.
You all this stuff that you want to hear,
Yeah.
at that moment.
Right. Right.
For that moment, which, like you said, a lot of times it is us making sure that, I mean, and you getting what you need out of that relationship. Up front, you kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
And what makes the relationship also toxic is, or situationship, what you got, is the sex. And I tell my female friends and I tell my young cousins, if you really want to know if this man like you, want to be with you, don't be putting out, because eventually he's gonna show his true colors of what he really wants. Now, there, I ain't gonna lie, and there's some men are smarter than that. They're gonna play the game as long as they can, and they'll be patient and they'll wait, and then they get it. But then you got other men out there who truly are really looking for something. But when you start having sex, it changes things. It changes, and then that's when you get what Erica was talking about. I mean, Michelle was talking about the arguments. Here we are sitting up here doing this like we are a couple or we're in a relationship, and we really are not. And then it becomes toxic from then, because your emotions, feeling, all of that's in there, and the sex changes things. And you're right, Michelle, is like we're too old, especially the people that are 35, 40 and up that continue to do these type relationships. One thing about these toxic relationships is that everybody's in a rush. I think people, they meet you, they exchange phone numbers, you have a conversation, couple conversations on the phone. Next thing, hey, can I take you out? Then after they take you out, let's go to a movie. We'll go to a movie. Then after the movie, hey, you want to come over and chill?
If the sex comes in too quick.
And that's good. It comes in too quick. It's like, but at the same time, I really feel like women y'all have the control. Y'all have the power. You can make these men date you.
Yes.
You can make these, even me. Maybe I'm giving it away or whatever, but I don't care. What I'm saying, I'm just keeping it real. You women can make these men date you to keep yourself out of toxic relationships. And then when you get into toxic relationships, what else makes these relationships toxic is that people don't take time to get to know each other. You really don't. So now you're in this relationship, then you start seeing things that you.
He froze up.
He froze up on us, y'all. But for sure.
Right when he was getting to the good part.
I mean,
yeah.
tell it all, Aaron.
Yeah, they done froze him. Look like the devil is a lie. Unfreeze, so Aaron can tell us.
Aaron, give us the 4-1.
He was about to give it.
Hey. Yep.
Baby Spectrum said no, sir.
You ain't giving our secrets away today.
He in mid-sentence. I cannot. But anyway, y'all, what I think he was about to say was, Aaron, Aaron, you listen. You was about to go in, honey. I think Spectrum cut you off.
Nah, it's AT&T, man. I'm about to throw my laptop in the street.
What was you saying, Aaron?
Oh, help me out, because I'm pissed off now. But anyway, damn, internet. You pay all this money for internet.
Yeah, you was giving it to us, and then they was like,
"Yeah, I don't know."
Somebody cut me off. Player would cut the line. Man, too much game. Yeah. But anyway, I just said I feel like these people are not taking enough time to get to know each other, and then they jumping in the bed. Then you end up being in something that you really don't want to be in, and then you wonder why you arguing, fussing, fighting, because when you have sex, then the emotions, the feelings in it, and then you're in a situation with a person that you shouldn't even be in a situation with, and then it's toxic. You know what I'm saying? And then the arguing, fussing, fighting, then it could become abusive. Now, being in an abusive relationship is super toxic. Men and women have been in abusive relationships where they stay.
Physical and mental abuse, and they stay.
Yes.
And I've been in situations like I don't want to leave, because it's the whole process of
starting
getting
over.
I don't care about the process, baby. Let me
And
tell
I've
you
learned, and I've learned.
I used to have a date on one Thanksgiving. The next Thanksgiving, I would have another day. They'd be like, "What's his name?" My cousins, I be done brought somebody else over
Did he
there.
bring
Like,
anything?
okay, now what's his name? We don't even know him. The other person name.
Yeah, they be like,
Shit.
hey, what's his name?
Yeah, because you know what? I had to learn. I learned it over a period of time, though, was that I knew my worth. I knew what I brought to the table. And a lot of guys was intimidated by me with that, which I can understand because I can come off, I'm the baby of my siblings. I was kind of a spoiled child. I've always gotten what I want. So my attitude was kind of like that. Even though I've let some dudes get away with a few things. My thing is that you ain't finna be out here embarrassing me. And I'm not going back and forth with nobody because my arms might start swinging like octopus arms. I might hit somebody. I don't know what's going to happen.
Toxic.
Toxic. That's what I'm saying. So what I learned early was to go ahead and just GO because I'm not going to spend my time trying to convince you that I am the one for you. After being around me a certain amount of time, after seeing me, to me, I feel like that as a man, you should acknowledge that and want to move forward with me. And if you don't, I'm fine with that too, because I still know my worth, whether we talking or not. But what I'm not going to do is sit around and try to help you figure out why I'm good for you. I already know who I am. I already know what I bring: the table, the chairs, the plates, the napkins, and the food.
Ooh.
Okay. Then on top of that, I come from a good family. They're gonna treat you nice when you come around. I can be a little ignorant, so you might not want to talk to me. I might find somebody else that deal with ignorant little people sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But, and I get that I have flaws too, but I'm not gonna stay in a toxic situation longer than I have to. I have dated somebody. They moved in September. They was out in January. I don't play like that. You gonna say one or two, three ugly things, and then you got to go out of here because I don't know what my attitude is gonna be like. And then when I start processing you out of my head, I don't feel like talking to you. I don't want to be around you. I really ain't got nothing to say to you because I've already tried. And once I get to the end of that trying, I'm really kind of done with it. So when I see people staying and I see people just lagging along, we're trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. And because men are really good with it. Men, they have mastered the drag along. They have mastered it.
Yeah.
Hey, you get mad at them, they be like, "Oh, I know she like this. Let me buy her this, or let me go over there." And then they'll come over for 3, 4, 5 days, and then you be like, now you back all sweet and you fixing them breakfast. Then the routine goes back.
24 hours, and then
Baby, okay, give them 15.
Michelle,
a work shift.
Michelle,
They didn't change back.
I don't even mean to interrupt, but real quick, people are commenting, but they're not. I don't see their comments. You got.
I don't see.
Me either.
I don't see their comments either.
There's a lot. I'm looking at
it. I don't either. So we're gonna have to
see them.
We have to go on Facebook maybe, and because
I don't see them. There's like 13 comments.
Oh, damn. I don't see them.
Okay, so hold on, y'all. There are 13 comments.
Oh, yeah, we are sorry. We apologize.
Yeah, because I'm not seeing them either.
I was looking for them. I didn't see anything.
So yeah, I do see them. Oh.
Since y'all up here male bashing.
No, we're not male bashing, but we do know that's.
Ian, do you see the comments?
Yeah, I saw them.
Well, why don't you say something?
I just did. I messaged you.
Well, what are the comments? You need to read them out because we can't see them.
I'm looking online on Facebook. Okay.
Well, just say what the comments are.
So I see Perfectly Flawed said that's it, Erica. Don't do relationships.
It says Aaron is the superstar of the show.
That is not what nobody said. uh, at all.
And can I have your autograph? Sure.
Nah, that's what she said. He's speaking truth. The devil say he's a lie. Yeah, it's real sad they do. You just gonna have to go to your Facebook.
Okay, I'm looking. I see them. Y'all, I'm not sure what's going on with our comments today, and we apologize, but we're all on Facebook now on our phones, so we can see the comments. But it like I was saying, I think that women just stay in too long, and then I think men need to be a little more truthful. And I think men, and I'm gonna say this to the men, y'all can tell us if y'all don't like us. It is okay. We always tell y'all what we don't like about y'all. We will tell y'all in a minute, y'all shoes are dirty, y'all don't work enough, we don't like y'all got too many baby mamas, you got more than 3 kids, your kids is not over 15, they ain't got no driver's license, we don't want to be at the little league games with Capri Suns and chips and snacks for the little football little league. We will tell y'all what we don't want in men.
Well, okay, so why don't y'all women stop lying and tell us that y'all want to be with us and start hanging around thinking y'all can change us? Well, I'm not talking about you, but I'm just saying there's women out there feel like
it's because of what you giving them at that time. Like,
oh, it's still our fault. It's still our fault. When y'all gonna take accountability for y'all actions?
We do. We try.
But that's not what you just said.
Well, we the ones who be wanting to be in a relationship. That's why I'm the topic is why we in it so long.
No,
because women a lot of times.
I know why y'all in it so long.
Why?
Boy, and half of y'all can't do that.
No.
Let's not even get started on that topic.
So for
half of y'all get lied to.
For older women, we don't care about that, sir.
That's a lie.
That's a lie. No, we don't.
Y'all do care about that.
No, we don't.
Yes, y'all do.
Guess what?
No, we don't.
Y'all really want that back blown out.
Hey, no, that's not what we want.
Don't know who you be mean. You need to stay away from the domain and Dogwood.
Because that's not what we looking for.
What y'all looking for? What y'all looking for? Because
somebody pay these bills, cut this grass.
See, that's toxic behavior. That right there is toxic behavior. Cut the grass, pay these bills, and what you doing?
And, we working, we starting businesses, we keeping this house clean, we make sure you got some dinner.
What about the bills? We live in
Austin. Your clothes.
We live in Austin. The bills are high.
We pay bills, nigga. We pay bills. What are you talking about? We've been paying bills all our life. What are you talking about?
Can you give us a break for me?
No, I ain't no break. Do I get a break on these lights? Do I get a break on this rent?
Exactly.
Yeah, when you move in with the person, you get.
This is what I'm talking about. The toxic behavior from these two. This is what you deal with in relationships. This is what we're talking about.
Okay, so now we're gonna be serious though. No, for real. But no, you are right, and it could be vice versa. It could be women too. I'm not just just going down on a man. I'm just speaking of what my experience is. Right. I'm not a man, so I don't know what men go through, but I think I'm smart enough to think that maybe it is some things y'all don't like about us, because after y'all break up with us, y'all tell everybody all the stuff y'all hate about us. So
yeah, exactly.
Y'all just say that when y'all with us.
But what I've learned though, when you be in a relationship, it can be, and it can turn toxic. I think it turns toxic because a lack of communication. I think communication is key. And another thing that I've learned in my adulthood, especially in my 40s, and a lot of people don't practice it. I would think we should, but learning to manage your expectations. I think learning to manage your expectations is very important.
So
and
what
also
do you mean
managing your expectations?
But managing it how? What do you mean?
Okay, for an example, say if me and you were dating, right? Mm-hmm. And you have this expectation that I should know, well, Aaron, you should already know to do this for me or to do that. But how would I know if you don't communicate that with me? So see, you have an expectation that you're expecting me to do something just because we're in a relationship. And then you're expecting it to be done and I don't do it. So then it causes an argument.
Well, I think that the expectation comes from you displaying what they wanted in the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
But that's still a gap in communication, though. You still
No,
got to talk about it.
because if you already is doing something that we like, why do we need to recommunicate that to you?
No, I'm saying if I didn't do something that you expected me to do and I didn't do it, which causes an argument because you had an expectation that you didn't share with me.
So that's also communication.
And then that can lead to toxic arguments, it leads to a lot when you lack that type of communication because you had an expectation.
So definitely communication we know is key, right? And also definitely getting to know that person in the beginning. Because I feel like if you talk enough, you communicate enough, I feel like those are especially things that are very important to you, because there are certain things that are very important to you, right? In a relationship. So I think those are the things that you definitely have that conversation in the beginning. And so that's just communication.
Yeah, but I think also which leads to this toxic. I can't even get it out.
Toxicity.
Anyway, I'm tongue twisted tied. Well, anyway,
yeah,
goes back to the point that I was trying to make, is that before people get in these relationships or situationships or whatever you're doing, and we're not knocking anything you choose to do, but learn the person, get to know the person, and then when you do that, you can. I think that is a key to stay out of these toxic relationships.
That's what I just said.
So you know what? I remember years ago when I used to go to a singles women group at St. James. And in the group, we were being taught that when you are doing your courtship, you should not let a man come to your house, and you should not come to a man's house. And when you go on a date with a man, you take a friend with you. And then you drive your own car, he drive his own car. And I think maybe if we learn to do some of those things, that we can prevent ourselves from getting into those situations. Because what I see is we got a bunch of 40-year-olds acting like they 18. They're sexually uncontrollable. They cannot control their hormones. And so I think that maybe if you want to be responsible and you want to get to know somebody without that, then you have to learn that type of self-discipline. If you know that you cannot control your hormones when you go on a date with somebody, then you should bring somebody with you, or you shouldn't invite a woman to your house. You know what I'm saying? Or a woman should not come to your house if she's going to feel that way. Like
she can't control herself.
Or don't drink when you go out on a date.
Yeah, Trish said, what happened to old-fashioned date? And Trish, I think Aaron said it earlier, is that everybody wants to rush. As social media got everybody so crunked up about what they think relationships are and look like, and what they don't understand is that when we do get into these, and I'll speak for us that's married, when we did get into these relationships with the men that we are married to, is because they displayed the things that we wanted. That's why we were on the same page with them. And that's why we are married today to these guys. When you're dating out there and you don't see the things that you want, women don't want to let go because it's something that attracted them to the man in the first place. So I think that when you're in the dating part of it, you should learn the discipline and not be going to no man's house. Hey, you want to meet? We can meet at the restaurant. Okay, I'll holler at you when y'all can talk on the phone on the way back to your homes. And then just get to know him. And then when you start assessing him, you realize that, okay, I don't want to date no man who got little kids. Like, I really don't want to be nobody little stepmama like that, like no little people. I don't want no little people. Like me and Erica used to talk about it all the time. I always said that I never wanted to date a man who had small children. For one, they had too many baby mama problems. They always calling, them kids need a t-shirt. They need an extra pair of shoes for soccer. Oh, they got a PTA meeting. They fundraising books. I mean, they always got to be on the phone with them. It's always something. And I don't want to stop nobody from taking care of their kids. So my thing was, if your kids didn't have driver's license, I didn't want to deal with you. Now, if your kids was older than 15, then we were good. Because they're a little bigger. I can communicate with them a little better. You ain't got to talk to their mama on the phone unless it's an emergency. Now the kids got cell phones. And so I think that when people see things they don't like, they still stay because it is something else they like. And it's either the sex, or they tired of being alone, or they tired of this, or they want matching pajamas on Christmas because they just seen everybody else with their matching pajamas. When they really need to get out of everybody else's thing and really, really look at that stuff for what it's for. Like I don't care if this man got a good job. I don't care if this man have all these great qualities, and you don't want a man with little kids. Why would you still go date that man?
Because they're ignoring the red flags for them.
Well, so then you put yourself in a toxic relationship, because eventually when you want to go out of town and then his kid got a little league game and he can't go, you're going to be pissed off. Mm-hmm. Now he got to learn when you could have just avoided it and dated a man who didn't have little kids.
I want to say, I don't know if she missed what I said earlier. Trisha Red said, what happened to old-fashioned dating? The question you were answering. The other spin of that, what I said earlier, is that women are not making men accountable to date them. I think women control the narrative when it comes to dating.
But I'm gonna tell you this too. Sometimes it ain't the men pushing up on these women. Some of these women are a little hot to trot, baby.
Oh yeah.
Women want to be in these men bed, and then when they get in these men bed, thinking that they then wooed these men, they really end up getting wooed themselves and not getting wooed what they want. You know what I'm saying? Like Kimberly Satterwhite said on here, she said, always date in the public, so that way you're not put in a compromised situation of being intimate. And that's why I say it comes back to you taking control of yourself and your emotions. You cannot put your emotions in your life in the hand of another man, of a man. If you know that you know that you know, I'm telling y'all, before I got married and I was in the dating scene, I knew I would not be with a man who had little kids. I knew it. I had already made my mind up on it. I would talk to men who had little kids, but being in a monogamous relationship with them, it was a no for me.
Yeah.
It was a no. I got grandkids. I pick them up when I want to. I don't have no little children here. Ain't nobody finna be walking around with Kool-Aid. Ain't nobody finna be leaving crumbs around here. And I don't want to have to say nothing to nobody kids. So I knew that dating a man with small kids was not for me. I did not want it. So I didn't date a man with small kids. I probably would talk to him, but going with him, it was a no.
And also, you know what so when I got back out into the dating scene, one of the things that I always looked at, definitely having conversations, going out on dates. If that man started talking about sex on the first couple of conversations, it was a no for me. Like when he started talking about, oh, you this and that, like for me, your body, the way you look, okay, it's cool to give a compliment, right? You look nice tonight, blah, blah, blah. But when you start talking sexual stuff, it was a no for me. I was done, because to me, you wasn't trying to get to know me as a person. It was sexual for me.
Get to know that
so I didn't want to talk to you no more. That
for me, that's a time. Eric, I agree.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you, y'all women need to stop doing that.
No.
Women trying to talk about my chest and my body.
Aaron, you need to control your hormones.
I'm gonna tell these women out here. I'm gonna tell these women out here. Stop trying to take me home. Stop trying to take my homeboys home. These women need to stop trying to take these men home too.
And y'all,
y'all are. Y'all be trying to take. No, this is what women do. This is what they do at Spinners. What you doing after this? What you doing after that?
Okay, so let me say this. So let me say that. And to a man, if a woman is throwing herself on you like that, then that should be a red flag too. What she got?
Absolutely.
She got a disease or something? Is something wrong with that little
Not all of them.
That she want to give it away.
Not all of them got some. Not all of them got some.
But
not all of them got some.
Why is she throwing
it ain't got to be an infectious disease. It could be she might got some other problems that come with her.
Like,
So you know what I'm saying? We ain't talking about just spreading the STD. We talking about why would you even want a woman who give it away so easy? Like, are you the first person she said that to?
No, I wouldn't want that. I did not say that I want that. I'm just trying to tell the men out there, be careful with these women that are like that. Just like there are men out there trying to take. I'm just telling them, be careful.
It is. It's definitely depending on what you're looking for. If you,
because some of these women will lure you. Yeah,
if you're looking for that one night stand, absolutely go ahead. But if you are looking for something long term, then definitely that first conversation, those first few conversations, you can figure out what that person
I ain't
is looking
taking
for.
nobody to eat.
Like
the comments.
No, you don't even buy us nothing to eat.
Do not do that.
Your friend. So
no.
tired.
Because I get spit on. I get spit on.
Aaron, Kim Satterwhite say, Aaron, maybe she wants you to take her out to eat. Kim, let me tell you something about Aaron. Aaron is tight. Baby, I don't know who gonna be going with Aaron because Aaron don't even buy us 85 cents wings on Tuesday nights.
Hell yeah, you might not get that, and you better not.
He don't buy us that shit. I'm telling them.
You better not order a water. You better not. If you order water,
Aaron,
you better not get no ice.
Aaron, don't say that though. Aaron, don't do that because that's definitely because you're not that type of person.
But I'm gonna tell you, you really are not that type of person. But I'm gonna tell you something, Aaron. You better stop being like that because you actually could miss a woman who can really do it.
Why would I miss a woman because of what?
Because you too tight. Don't
How am I
no tight man.
I'm not tight.
No, he not like that.
I'm not like that.
Erica, have he bought my wings on the Tuesday? Don't be sitting up acting like he ain't tight, Erica.
Nope.
So,
and I'm his friend.
Hold on. Let me just say this.
And I get 5 wings, 85 cents times 5. Somebody calculate up that $2.
Wait a minute, hold on.
There ain't no $2.
So maybe he told Michelle no, but he ain't told me no. So I don't know.
Of course he ain't told you no. But he ain't got to buy me no 85 cents wings. My husband got a lot of money, so I can buy my own wings.
Aaron has always been nice to me, so. But we got
eat up her sides.
Yeah, he always eat my side. That's why I'm put some poison on.
But he do.
But no, okay, y'all, no, for real though. But let's
all got each other though. We all got each other.
Okay, so before I know it's getting close on time. So let me ask you this: how would you tell the ladies and men out there how to get out of a toxic relationship?
Exactly.
If they're in one.
Go.
Because a lot of people are not as strong as you, Michelle. I'm one of those people.
I'm not that strong.
I have an issue.
Are. When it comes to certain things, you are. Like you said, there's certain things that you gonna put up with, and there's certain things that you not.
But I stay in it, like Michelle said. Sometimes you just stay in it, and you just don't know how to get out of it. I told you earlier, like I said, I was staying in something that was affecting me mentally.
Okay, so let me answer your question.
Mm-hmm.
Let me answer your question. I have been in enough hurtful relationships in my life. So when I did realize my worth, that I was beautiful, that I deserved happiness, that I knew that I brought something to the table. Yeah, I knew I wasn't the best. I knew that it may be somebody out there that was cuter than me, somebody whose shape that was better than mine, who had more than me. I knew that. But I knew that I brought a heart to the table. I knew that I bought a heart that's probably bigger than Texas to the table, and that I deserve these things. And when I finally realized that about myself, I knew that I would never be in something that did not serve me what I knew I deserved. Mm-hmm. And then plus, when I was a little girl, you got to remember, I'm the baby of my family. When I was a little girl, my daddy treated me very well. My daddy bought me gifts. He told me how beautiful I was. He told me how proud of me he was. Me and my daddy was always very close. So when I meet men, I kind of look for somebody that's slightly like my dad, because my dad was a thoughtful man. My dad was a giver. My dad always put his women and his kids before himself. So when I meet a man and he's not going to put me first, that's a red flag for me, because I would do it for him. So when I meet somebody, and I give them a few chances and I see a few little things, then I go ahead and exit. Because then in my mind, I start developing a dislike for you. And I don't want to have to dislike you for something that you may not have gotten as a child, or that you may not have learned. So I'm going to go on and let you go with somebody that may be on the same level as you, but I'm going to keep it pushing because I know what I deserve. I don't deserve to be treated second. I don't deserve to not have my feelings thought of. I don't deserve to be treated wrong, cussed out, mentally abused. I've had all that in my past. I'm not going to do that no more. And I have been single for a long time by myself because of that. And then I watch other people's relationships and I'm like, no, because you're not going to go through every experience in your life. So you have to learn from somebody else. So I just conjured up enough self-confidence to say that, Michelle, you are who you know you are. And don't ever let nobody take that from you. So when you're not being served what you know you deserve, then you just walk away. And then you talk about them a little bit. Because I roast a little bit.
And I think that's so important. I agree with what you said.
And then I move on, you know.
I agree with what you said. I think also too, when you in between relationships and before you get into another one, I think we need to learn to be alone. We have to learn to self-soothe. And because, you know, and I've learned that being single these last few years, you know, and I'm reading the comments and some people say, just leave, just, you know, but it's sometimes it's harder than that. You might have kids involved. You may have, you know, finances entangled.
Right. Aaron, let me tell you something.
But I know, but I'm telling you, I was in a relationship. Let me just say this. I was in a relationship. I'm telling you, when like you said, you know when enough is enough. I left. And I left half my shit. I left 2 of AJ's bikes, my surround sound system, half my clothes, because I got to a point where I was done.
Yeah, and I mean, some people it takes some people longer.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just saying to help the people out there by sharing our experience. And it's like you said, to learn to love yourself and love yourself more than just that relationship.
And you know, I will give people this. I think that men, and I'm gonna talk about men because I'm a woman. That's all I've ever dealt with. Men have mastered the beg back. So when he know you leaving, he finds the one thing that he know you the weakest at. And he play on that emotion. And because women, the way we are wired and our nature is to love, our nature is to nurture. And to care about people's feelings. And so what happens is when we have set up in our mind to leave, because we're already doubting ourselves, thinking that we're making the wrong decision. When we know deep in our heart that we really are making the right decision, because we're so hurt to the point where now we have to leave. The man will find one thing that he knows you weak at, whether it's those children, whether it's gifts, whether it's sex. He gonna play on one of those emotions and he gonna wheel you back in. And he gonna wheel you back in enough to where you have got to restart over trying to get away from him again.
Absolutely. Amen.
That is where women have to get stronger. And this goes for men too, because it is some men who deal with some ignorant women too. You have to know that when you walk it off, you got to walk it off. You just walk it off. It's gonna hurt. You gonna cry. You might even call him and say some ugly stuff to him. You might text him and then block him. But you got to move forward. And trust me, in the end, you're gonna feel a lot better about it. You're gonna be like, oh shit, I'm glad I'm out of that.
And so these comments is for men as well. This is not just women. We talking for women because we women. But also men go through the same exact thing, because you know I know people that go through the same exact situations as a man. So these are not just for
And let me just
Michael Powell say he left the whole car. Michael, I would have left the car too, baby. Give me a repossession. I don't care. And I would have left too, Michael.
And I want to say this with the comments and stuff that we're making, it's not a blanket statement. We're not saying it's all women. We're not saying it's all men.
Of
It's
course.
just certain individuals. Sometimes you just got to make it clear to the audience because, I'm
Right.
reading some of these comments and we appreciate y'all commenting, but yeah, we don't mean every woman.
Right. We don't mean every woman, and then
Yeah.
the other thing too is that when you do get to know someone or you meet a man and you have to have boundaries for yourself and you have to have boundaries for your relationship.
Exactly.
Boundaries, we should have boundaries in our life. And I didn't learn boundaries until my late 30s. I was boundless with everybody. Anything went. And I had to learn that I should not step over a line and I should not let men step over a line. And when you have boundaries, these are ways not to get into these toxic relationships because it's the same thing that we have with our friends. We need to use it in men. When we get mad at our friends, we don't talk to them no more. She ain't none of my friends. I ain't never talking to her. And we don't talk to these people for 4, 5, 6 years. But we would not use that with these men. These men would dog us out. They would treat us wrong. They would take our money. They would do everything wrong in the book to us. And we will have to start our whole lives over dealing with them. But let our girlfriends say something about us out of misconduct. Somebody said we gossiped about them. Maybe they would cut us out. We could have went to elementary school together and borrowed each other's lunch boxes. They would not talk to you no more. So the same energy that we give when we're mad at our friends is the same we need to pass on to these toxic relationships. If you can get rid of somebody you've been knowing for 20 plus years, you should be able to get over a man that you've been sleeping with for 3 years, 2 months, 1 month. Yep. You should be able to walk it off from him, period.
I want to say this to the men. And I'm going to say this, and I'm trying to practice this too. When you out here dating and you want to get serious with a woman, don't play with her.
I agree. With
anybody. Anybody. I had an old man tell me, and he didn't use these words, but I ain't gonna say the words what he is. But don't play with her. If you're serious about her, you got to lead by example too. I'm trying to get better. I like to yell, argue, and all that, and which can make a relationship toxic. And I think we all need to learn how to talk to one another. And, because when you start yelling and screaming and fight, it makes it toxic. And if you got kids involved, that will affect the kids around it, because even if they're not in the room, they can hear you arguing. You got to understand that as men, we need to set the example and lead by example too. Right. And I just wanted to get that out there.
Yeah, I agree.
But if you even have to get to that point where you have to yell and go back and forth, then there's an issue. There's a problem. So I just feel like, it shouldn't even.
I'm just saying not now, but I'm saying I've been in relationships where you just know when you start yelling and screaming, that's just toxic.
I think it's gotten too far by then. And that's why I think when you see things in the beginning, that's why I say, like, to me, everybody in their head got a list of things that they like and that they don't like, or that they will, kind of maybe deal with, and some things they won't. When you get with somebody or you meet them, say you just met somebody and y'all talking on the phone, y'all made them went out to eat a few times and he did something, you like, I don't know. You need to go with that. You need to follow your first mind sometimes. Sometimes your first mind can save you from a lot of problems. And I think the problem is we get into these second, third, fourth, fifth minds, and now we're confused. And a lot of these men, they're just double-minded. They're not really sure what they want, and they really should be honest with themselves. Like, they meet somebody, hey, Erica, I ain't really ready for a relationship. I got a lot of baggage. I got a lot of stuff going on. I got this, and that. I'm not really ready for nobody. So if you're looking for a relationship, I may not be the man for you. I'm just looking for
offering you all this other shit.
Right? That's what I'm saying. They should not do that.
Absolutely.
And then women got to be careful when you know that you got these certain things and qualifications and things that you want, and the man do not have them, or he has some things that you like, nah, I ain't finna do that. Then you got to say, okay, you know what? I appreciate the conversation. It was nice knowing you. You know what I mean? But you're not really who I look for. It's okay to hurt somebody's feelings.
Yeah.
And it's really not hurting their feelings. They should be glad that you're being honest with them. And that's the problem these days. People don't like honesty. People like lies. They like fakeness. It's like that's the new thing is to be lying and be fake and be phony and putting up this facade. It's like, no. Just say, I don't like you like that. Like, no.
Or not even that you don't like them like that. Because
you don't like them like that. Just
because they told you that I don't want this relationship. So you don't want that relationship, and I'm looking for a relationship. So we not on that same path. Not going down the same path. So let you go ahead and do what you do, and I'm gonna go ahead and do what I do, because in the long run, I know I'm gonna want more, and this person is not gonna give me what I want. So,
well, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna tell you, if I'm dealing with you, I'm gonna tell you straight up what I want. That's just me as a man. And if I'm not looking for a relationship, I'm gonna tell you at the beginning, that's not what I'm looking for. So if you want to hang out, then whatever we do after that, it's on you.
Really on you. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And then women, if they know that they just looking to hang out too, they need to stay in that mode. Don't try to say you cool with it, and then when thinking that you're gonna change the man's mind.
That's
you know what I'm saying? And I see a lot of that too. The men do tell that they don't want to be in a relationship. And then a woman be like, oh, okay, I don't either, when they knew that they said they wanted a husband. If you want a husband, say you want a husband and you go in that direction. You can't go in the single people direction because they are not looking for what you are looking for. When I met my husband, when I meet any man before I got married and I'm dating, I tell them straight off the bat, I'm marriage material. I ain't trying to be cohabitating with nobody. You ain't living over here. I ain't living with, no, I don't want it. When are we getting married? I'm going to give you 2-3 years tops. We getting married.
That's what I was finna say. So if you tell somebody that and you are front and you honest, and y'all going through the emotions, because some of them lie and they'll mislead you and make you think, oh, that's what I want, because they trying to get to some point or they trying to get something. And then at the end, it's like, I don't really want that.
I think you will know because you'll start seeing the steps. One thing about men are very concrete in what they say. Women, we are the ones who waver. Men are concrete. When men say something, you got to listen to when they talk. Mm-hmm. The problem is we don't really listen. We hear what we listening, but we listening and we're hearing what we think we want to hear from them.
Right.
Men are very concrete. When they say they don't want something, they don't want it. Mm. And I think that women need to get that in their head and understand that when they start seeing the little game being played. Because if a man want to marry you and he wants, you are going to see. He is going to show you. The steps are going to start being made.
Right.
But I think that women don't really sit. They be like, okay. And then they start giving themselves some more time. So say if they said, okay, 2 years tops.
Yeah.
And then it gets almost close to the 2 year and ain't nobody got no engagement ring and ain't nobody said nothing. The women will be like, I'm
not ready yet.
I'm not ready yet either. I'm not, when they know they lying. Mm. They just trying to buy him some time so they won't feel like they have to break it off.
Absolutely.
To me, just go on and break it. Be like, hey, I remember before I got in my marriage, I was dating, and the guy had a little situation going on, and he was a little disrespectful and little thing. And I was like, I said, hey, you got, this is it. Like, we got to move on. We got to go our separate ways because I really ain't that girl for you, though. Right. Because my attitude really ain't like that. So, before these octopus arms start swinging around, I just go on.
Yeah.
Because I started seeing little patterns. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't get disrespected like that. So, my ego is always at the front door. I got a huge ego. It's almost terrible. So I already know me. So I'm like, okay, let me just go. And then me and that person ended up being really good friends after. It was like we were cool. But I had to be honest with myself that, yeah, I do like this person, but this person is just not for me. I'm unhappy. I don't like the way I'm being talked to. I don't like anything about it. I'm just gonna G up.
Yeah.
And I just broke it off. I was like, bye. Bye.
That's what you said. You just said bye and left.
Bye. And you know what?
And she did.
Who
And
next?
she did. And she did. So that's the thing.
You
So
just
that's
said
the-
bye.
Yeah, she did.
Mhm.
She said, so that's the thing though. Everybody is not like that. And everybody, so that's the whole thing is that
Practice it. They gotta practice.
you gotta definitely decide what it is that I feel like that you want and what you can put up with.
Teresa, I know that's right.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, at the age, I'll be 50 this year. I know I don't look it, you know, I don't need all these compliments right now. We can get to the compliments later. But
Sir,
I'll be
sir,
you'll
we
be
didn't
50
even need
this
all
year.
that extra. We didn't even
Hey,
Whatever.
I'll give you autograph after the show. Anyway, I don't want to be dealing with somebody toxic. I don't want to be arguing, fussing, and fighting, especially at this age. Now we in the fourth quarter of our life. We have lived longer than what we got left. And I really feel like we need to make the best of what we
Yes.
have left right
Yes.
now.
absolutely.
Being in something toxic is not worth it. You know, if you got to argue and fuss and fight, you know, just like the Bible says, if you got to find somebody and be evenly yoked. You know what I'm saying? And we can go into that later. But just try to find somebody for you that you can get along with. But one, take the time to get to know them. Don't be so hastened to jump in the bed and have sex because we know sex changes things.
Hello.
Some people are out there just to hit it and quit it. They'll fake the front until they get it. They might hit it a few times and then they're done with it. And then now you just lost and stuck out and hurting because of it. And
So
I
standing on what
really
it
think women control the narrative when it comes to dating. Make that man date you. Make me date you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Standing on what you believe and what it is that you want, what it is that you're looking for. If that's what you're looking for, if you are just in your 50s and that's what you're looking for, you just want to hit it and quit it. Just
Let that be known.
definitely also being honest, but also as women, women and men, you have to look for those signs
Mhm.
and standing on what it is that you want. And I think those first few conversations for me, I think you kind of know what it is that that person is wanting and what they're needing. So I don't know.
I agree. Yeah, I think well,
You got
tonight I
women
think
pay for
was a
these
good
dates, too.
topic. I think that I think everybody is different. I think that as
Yeah.
we grow as individuals and as people, we learn. Today my friend, she said these are not losses, but not losses, but lessons.
Yes. Oh,
And
yeah.
I think that everything that we go through, we have to take something from it and apply it to our life, whether it's good or bad, whether it prevents us from doing something or whether it pushes us to do something. We have to start learning something from our past. We cannot keep going through these relationships and never learning nothing from and jumping right back into them like we left the last one. It's like, no, you have to change up. You changing, or whether you change up the way you date, or whether you change up the type of people you meet, or the type of men you like. You have to change something. And I think that as in time you will grow, you will know that okay, yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, I like this. And just stop being like a little kid when it comes to dating, like you at a candy store. Oh, and you're so excited. Quit being so excited about everything. Just check it out. Like, we grown. We shouldn't be that excited about nothing no more. Shit, we done been done wrong, done good. I mean, hey, what you doing? Okay, what's your number? Okay, let's talk. You talk. You talk to him a little while. Because I remember a long time ago, my brother told us, Erica, he said, you got this many men, you got all these men out here.
Mm.
Half of them in prison. They gay.
Mm-mm.
They married.
Mm.
They on drugs.
Mhm.
And then you got this little bit to date from.
Right.
You ain't got a lot of options.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of options. So, and
Mm.
you got people with these preferences. And they
Mm.
got out, and these people meet some good men. And I'm gonna say this before we leave too. Some women meet some good men, and they
Mm.
don't want them, but they will go get with these men who they gotta damn near pour teeth out of their mouth to spend time with them.
Yeah.
You got the man over here want to spend all the time with you. So a lot of times these women really are their own problems.
True.
And I would say I was my own problem before too. So I know it when I see it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that marriages are all spices and sugar and all this and that. We
Of
go
course
through things too in marriage. But at the same time, these people that we married are good to us. They do good things for us. Yeah, might get on nerves a little bit, might leave some shoes at the front door, might not pick up the vacuum when I got it in the middle of the floor. Yeah,
Absolutely.
okay, might get on my nerves about it. But at the end of the day, when y'all dating out here, man, just be careful and just quit wasting so much time. Like Aaron said, we're at the fourth quarter of our life. A lot of us ain't finna live till we 90 years old. So if we already 50, that means we got 30 years to live. Who's to say we're gonna live those 30 years? So you gonna spend the rest of your 30 years on this earth fighting, trying to get a man to figure out who you are and that you worth it? It's not worth it, man. It's not worth it. Go on and live your life and be happy. I hope 20 years of our life, a lot of our kids are 28, 30, 31 years old. That means about 30 years of our life, we have dealt with nothing but issues and problems. That means we have been in and out of relationships, going through bull crap, dealing with children, getting done wrong, breaking up people, going with other people. We've been doing that our whole life. So you want to spend the other half doing it too? That's real MHMR. That ain't real smart.
Yep.
So,
Now, for real.
I ain't trying to be ugly, y'all, but I'm just
finding what it, and yeah, just finding what it is that you definitely.
yes, Trish said we got more years behind than in front of us. It's just
But
it's just not smart, man.
well,
It's just
definitely,
not
if you want to be by yourself, that's what you want to do you?
Life is too short to be unhappy and toxic.
Yeah.
There's enough. You got to go on these jobs and deal with these people.
Yeah. So, you guys, I see Teresa said, don't confuse compromising with settling. That's right, Teresa. And Teresa, a lot of times people do that. They settle thinking that they compromise and not knowing that they really being tricked. And I agree with that. It's just at some point we have to care enough and love ourselves enough to, under all this makeup, these lashes, these box braids, these sew-ins, these lace fronts, these baby hairs, it got to be some self-esteem under here.
Mm-hmm.
And if you need to be single, be single. Yeah.
Be single. It's all, to me,
it's okay.
Right now, if I was not married, I probably would be single. I probably would just live my life by myself. When I was single, I think I got more accomplished than I was when I was in a relationship because it was just me. I didn't have to worry about another person. So sometimes being single is not always a bad thing. One of my girlfriends the other day said she don't encourage nobody to get married. She said because when she get married, it's one and done. She see too many people doing 1, 2, and 3. Like it's too much. People are not really wanting to do right in marriages. So she don't even push herself towards that because she's not, she just don't see where the loyalty and the love and all these things that should be in a marriage and going towards marriage is happening.
And that's why I've never done it. I'm just gonna be honest. I've never done it. Not have ever gotten married because I just don't see the loyalty. I just don't see. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't see the happy ending. I haven't seen it. So for me, it's just like be single until you feel like it is there. If it's not there, it's not there. So,
and see me, and I feel exactly where you come from. See me, I've seen the happy ending. You know what I mean? My mom is still married to her husband. I've
exactly.
been married to that man for
But
37, 38 years. So I see the ending. You know what I mean? I know that it can happen.
Mhm.
You just gotta find the right person.
So you stay single until you find it.
Pretty much.
So
And
that's
then when you find it, you got to be able to put in the work, because being in the
Gotta put in
relationship,
the work.
it's work. It's
It's
definitely
work.
work. It's not easy. We know it's not easy. We know it's not gonna be sunshine, rainbows every day. You
women,
might
Girl, I
you
probably
might like them one day, you might not like them the other day. I get that.
and
I
these ladies,
probably have divorced Dorian in my head like 4 times.
and
And one day.
before y'all get in a relationship with these ladies, find out what they look like without these lashes and makeup.
Stop it. Stop it.
We're not
Because that could be a toxic relationship. You might marry somebody you don't even know who that they look like.
Yeah, we already talked about that. So don't
Yeah,
do
and
it.
Trish says she been married for 31 years. Congratulations, Trish. That is awesome.
Congratulations,
That
girl.
is
It's a
awesome.
blessing.
You know, and
Yes.
I think that, at the end of the day, just y'all just got we as women, we as men, we got to stop settling for toxic. We know better. We need to do better. We know better. We've been done wrong. We've been hit on. We've been through all that. We have to know that we're worth more than that. We have to know that we're worth more than being cheated on. We have to know that we worth more than being verbally abused. We have to know that that is not what God designed us for. That is not what He would want for us. It's to live on this earth unhappy. So you guys just learn some boundaries, take into accountability the things that you are accepting and try to change them. Try to change up the type of men you dating. If you keep running to these same men, you keep getting these same results, you might need to change up on the type of guys you date. So y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. We're going to get out of here. We're way over our time tonight. This was a pretty good topic. We see you guys not next week, but the week after. Guys, go and like our page on YouTube. Make sure y'all share. In a couple of weeks, y'all, July the 22nd, I think it's going to be my grand opening for Fancy Fries, y'all, my new food trailer.
Hey.
I'm so excited about it, y'all. God has just truly blessed me to be able to be creative and come up with these ideas of all these things that I like to start and create. So I'm thankful and grateful for that. You guys, I hope all you guys come out to my grand opening. Next week, we will not see y'all, but the following week we will. So y'all tune in. We love y'all. We will see y'all not next week, the week after the 11th. You guys have Aaron think he can dance, but he really can't. And we're gonna go. We love y'all. The week after.
I was trying to do the math of that 31 years.